Hello, hello. So it's been a while since we did an update on the garden. You saw what it kind of looked like before we started anything last fall when we first moved in. We've since then done a whole lot more planting, and we have a whole lot more planned for next year. I know it's kind of silly to think that in June we're already planning for next year, but I guess that's what happens. Come see. This is our wonderful apple mint right by our front door. I didn't have enough grow bags at the time and it had to get planted, and I wanted to keep them contained, so this is what we came up with. There we go, it is clear. So apple mint is going to have this whole area to call his own. And if you come this way, around the side of the house, you'll see this is our classroom space here. I will show you that in a little bit. But you can see our lettuce is coming a long way. We have some beautiful lettuce here, and two different kinds of lettuce. We have romaine and butter crunch. Butter crunch. Butter crunch? And I was a little bit worried about our spinach, but our spinach seems to be doing something now. It is growing. It is in fact growing. I wasn't sure it was, but it is. Beautiful spinach. And our chives. I did not get this garden bed weeded today, but I will do that tomorrow. My girls are with their grandma for the night. I'll be home tomorrow afternoon. I'll do some more weeding. The garlic and the onions. I'm sorry, the chives and the onions. Why did I say garlic? And here we have our tomatoes and our yummy purple garlic. Why do I keep saying garlic? Purple basil. It's purple basil. It's not garlic. Our cucumbers are coming along just great. And we did add just the other day, at my son's request, banana pepper. Just one. And as we walk back around the outside, we have our strawberries. We clipped the flowers so that they would not produce any berries this year, to hopefully get a deeper root system for next year. We'll see. And then around the outside, so you can see we're now in the back of the garden. Elder is doing fantastic. She's really happy here. She's gotten very tall since we planted. And here we have bell peppers, celery, broccoli, zucchini, and then on this side, one is butternut squash, one is spaghetti squash. The surprise will be which is which because I forget. And then along here, we do seem to have some carrots sprouting. Possibly. And our only in the ground potatoes. We have 5 more grow bags with potatoes. And then right back here we have all our wonderful peas. Well, hello there. Hi, how are you? Come to say hi? Oh, look at you. Hi. She's very sweet, but kind of likes to try to destroy the garden. We have the milk thistle, which is growing phenomenally. And just wonderful. Yes, you want some love, don't you? Yes, you do. And this is our garlic that I apparently was so excited about. What are you doing, my dear? Green beans. Blueberry. It will be a large, abundant blueberry bush at some point. And here we have chocolate mint and a random mint. You can see we planted watermelons and they are now sprouting. I've never successfully grown a watermelon before, so it's one of those things that never wanted to grow for me. Comfrey, lamb's ear, myrtle, and little chickweed. Hello again. Yes. And when we move towards the inside, rosemary, thyme, 2 oregano plants, sage. Our basil is happier than it was before, believe it or not. Yeah. Are you liking the oregano? Oh, my dear. And this is sweet marjoram, bergamot, and parsley. You can see they look quite similar, but you can see the difference between the marjoram and the bergamot. And the fluffy cat. Hello, fluffy cat. I don't know your name. I really don't. I really don't know your name. I know where you live, but I don't know your name. Oh, you're happy. And now we have planted some bee balm, which is growing phenomenally. Some astragalus, which is also doing very well. I'm told astragalus is quite difficult to grow, but it's growing. And now Kitty is loving on the elecampane. And we have a little marshmallow right there. Stinging nettle, watch out. I figured that was the best spot for it, where people are least likely to run into it. I don't know. Now if you notice these buckets here, I took some cuttings from that lilac bush and that lilac bush. That is supposedly a burgundy lilac, but it did not flower this year, and we want to make sure that we will always have it. So we kind of hope that they will take, but if not, we'll try again next year. They're still green, which is hopeful, but we won't know for a while whether or not any of them took. And then you are just going to stay with me the whole time, aren't you, sweetheart? We have wormwood over here, and we have motherwort, and the Solomon seal, which I'm sure you've seen many pictures of, echinacea, comfrey. You might have seen some pictures if you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook. You'll have seen some pictures of it in flower, which is beautiful, the beautiful purple flowers. Feverfew. I really love feverfew. Excellent for headaches. And it's going to start flowering soon. And over here, we have some mugwort. I always say the best way to be able to identify something in the wild is to grow it in your garden. Oh, aren't you just a ham? Aren't you just a ham? Next, over here, we have St. John's wort. And we think we might be adding another St. John's wort plant to our garden. And over here, I might have to step back. I'll get really close first to what will be the flowers, and then show you the leaves, and then valerian. It's quite tall. It's like chest height on me. Hello, sweetheart. So I just added some borage the other day. A friend of mine was selling some at the farmer's market, and I said, I have a spot for borage and I need to bring it home. I was initially going to put chamomile here, and for some reason I couldn't find my chamomile seeds, so I did not plant chamomile. The skullcap is doing nicely, growing slowly but growing. And here we have the footprint of a 5-year-old. At least she doesn't step on the plants. Now lavender, if you saw, oh actually I don't think I had any of those plants in the other video, did I? Lavender looked very unhappy when we brought her home. And we weren't sure what was going to happen, but we put her in the garden and we took all those dead needles off, and she perked right up and she's doing fabulous right next to wood betony. So this is like my nervine section over here. Kitty, 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 kitty. And then we head into the inner circle. Bone set was just not meant to be this year, I guess. You're trying to get to the catnip, I see. But we do have some wonderful arnica and some more comfrey plants. So we have a total of 4 comfrey plants, which is fantastic. We also have a few Herb Robert plants. And we'll do other videos that highlight each one of these herbs individually. This is just kind of showing what we have and how it's doing. Clary sage. And these are really just some marigolds that my husband had bought for his great aunt's headstone. And these 2 were not flowering, so we didn't plant those and we put them in here. And now this one is flowering. The funny thing is, her favorite color was purple, and her maiden name was Purple. So he planted 4, a purple one and another color on either side. And the ones that were purple thrived, and the ones that were not purple died. So I guess next year we'll know, only plant purple. We have some summer savory right here. Yes, dear, you are just an attention hog. Yes, you are. Some nice summer savory, pretty little flowers. Our dill is doing quite well. It's short and bushy, but it's tasty. I used it in a grilled cheese the other day, and I used it in some dip. And here's our fennel. Again, short and bushy, but doing well. And the lemongrass. Last but not least, we have the catnip. So I did cut this down because it was bent, and I thought it would help it grow some more. Now the interesting thing is, you see this catnip right here, and this as well. This was ripped out of the garden bed the first day I planted it a few months ago by the neighborhood cats. Perhaps even this one right here, I don't know. But anyway, so we now have a fence around just the catnip. And I put it back in the ground, and the next day it was here again. So I was like, all right, I give up. I'm just gonna leave it. About 4 days later, I said, I can't just leave it there. I put it back in the ground, and it's growing. This was also eaten down to nothing the very first night I planted it, and as you can see, it is still alive and growing. We have some raspberry lemon balm here, which honestly doesn't appear to have been doing much. My mom got it from my aunt. I don't know. But lemon balm is doing quite well. She's growing nicely. And this is the lovely circle. Now I'm going to take you around. This took longer than I thought. I'm sorry. It's such a long video, but all good stuff. I am going to take you around to the other side. I think my husband might have some stuff out that would not. One water barrel. It's a 55 gallon. 55 gallon, it does not take much to fill it. Our fire pit, and hopefully these two giant water barrels will be hooked up to the gutter soon so that we can collect more rainwater. Once this door's open. So we're gonna come in here. And minus the pallet and the table saw. This is our classroom space. So if you take a class with me, this is where we will be when we're not outside in the garden. Just a nice space to get away from any bugs or rain, if it happens to rain. And you can see the garden right through the windows. So that's it. I hope you liked it, and we'll do some individual videos soon. Bye.